Right, well, I thought today I would do a small YouTube video on Commonwealth war graves. Now the Commonwealth war graves was set up just after World War I, and their aim was to bury and mark and maintain the grave of every soldier that died for the Commonwealth. Now you only need to go round the battlefields in France and Belgium and you'll see these huge cemeteries with Commonwealth war graves. But I thought I'd look at a small hobby that I have, which is just going round small cemeteries in the UK and finding these graves. Now it's not difficult to do. If you go into any village or town in the UK, you will find these burials, and they stand out a mile because it's all the same standard headstone. And this is St Elizabeth's cemetery in Dundonald, just outside Belfast. And in this cemetery there are two, one World War I and one World War II. So just down the road there's Dundonald main cemetery, and there's over 100 there, but I thought I'd come along to St Elizabeth's and just show you why I find this hobby quite interesting. This fella here is John Ireland, and what the Commonwealth war graves do is they'll put his name, rank, service number, date of death and age if they know it, the regiment he served with, and they'll put the badge of the regiment he died with. John Ireland died with the Devonshire Regiment, aged 18, on the 6th of September 1918. Now that's essentially all the war graves would put on, but you could, at an extra charge, put on a personal inscription, and on this one the family have decided to add the inscription: "In the midst of life we are in death." Now you have to pay for each word that you put on. So quite a lot of the headstones have no personal message, but this one actually does. So because there's only one grave in this cemetery, I thought how we look at this fella. And John Ireland was born on the 18th of March 1900, and he was born in the Shankill in Belfast, and that's where his family lived and his family resided. Now I looked into it, it's quite a large family. Let's look at some of them. He had a brother called William, an older brother, born in 1896, and he died, believe it or not, 1 month before John. And William died on the 1st of August 1918, and he was actually a military medal winner, so he won a medal for bravery and was buried in France. Now I was wondering why this fella may have died, so I looked a bit further into it, and it appears that he never actually went to France. He actually died in Northern Ireland. And then I looked into it a wee bit further, and it just says he drowned, which is a bit unusual, I thought, because normally there'd be records to show how he died if it was an accident or anything like that. But then I was thinking about it, and there's his older brother has just died the month previously, and no doubt his brother had sent him lots of information about the battlefields and the conditions in France, because his brother had gone out to France in 1915, and there he won the military medal for bravery, and he died of wounds then in August 1918. Now poor John, he's heard all these stories. He's not probably that keen in going to France, I would imagine, and no doubt because he's turned 18, he knows he's about to be shipped across to France. And just before he's shipped, his brother is killed. So a lot of these headstones carry sad stories. So I'm afraid John is more than likely a victim of suicide, and because of that, it's just put on his records that he drowned, because his family wouldn't have wanted that information to have been put out. And then you wonder to yourself, why was he buried in Dundonald whenever his family lived and resided in the Shankill, which is the other side of town? He's lying here by himself. His parents are buried over in Belfast City Cemetery, and I think they probably wanted a quieter burial service for his son, who sadly, through a bit of trauma, no doubt, passed away, but he felt he couldn't face going to France. So like I say, all these wee headstones, very sad. There's a story behind each one, and this fella here is very much a victim of World War I, fighting in France and Flanders. So, sad story. Each one of these wee headstones, it's a life lost in World War I. So do look around your local cemeteries, try and do a little bit of research into them, and all fascinating stories behind each and every one. Don't forget to subscribe, folks. Thank you.